Hey guys, welcome back to Broken Bobby's Transformation page. Today I am going to tell the story of the first time I used illegal drugs. If you are new to the page, please subscribe, smash that like button, and drop a comment. Also, share this video. Maybe it will help somebody because honestly, that's my ultimate goal, to help others not have to live the life I lived. So let's jump into the story. So the year is probably about 88, and I'm living in San Bernardino on 10th Street. Um, it so I'm hustling basically, and I'm small time nickel and diming, um, and I got a connection up the street that's selling me small quantities, like half 16s at a time of crank, and I'm it's basically like a double up. Like I spend 40, I can make 80 type of thing. So I'm nickel and diamond in the neighborhood, and some people are telling me that stuff ain't that good. So uh, my connection comes through to drop off another small sack and get out a piece of foil to burn it, because that was the way you tested it back then. And you didn't want the product to turn black because that was a sign that there was cut. So I'm sitting in the car and I'm burning it on some foil, and uh, my connection, Derek, we'll call him, says, "Man, you're wasting it." And he gets out one of them old big pins hollowed out, and he takes a hit of it, and he says, "Here, try it. Like it's good." So without thinking, now keep in mind I had never used, at this point, smoked a little weed, maybe drank a little alcohol, but never used anything like this. So I took that initial hit, and to be honest, it scared the hell out of me. My heart started racing, and I became fixated on getting a lowrider magazine. So I went down to the store. They didn't have it in the magazine rack. Uh, so now I'm running all over town trying to find a lowrider magazine, and I can't think about anything but that. So eventually I find one other side of town, like I'm on a mission already. And uh, I start coming down off of it. And I just went from feeling on top of the world to feeling like complete and utter garbage. And I'm saying to myself, man, I'm never going to do that stuff again. Like, I can't believe, how terrible I feel. And then I run into Derek later on that night, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I got some more. Let's do some." And that started my life of addiction, which would go all the way until 2005, 2006. No, 2005, sorry. Yeah, I got clean on August 9th of 2005. I was in custody, LA County Jail. And yeah, like it, so, it was, the addiction is just terrible. Like, it turns you into a person that you're not. Um, and so eventually, I told the story before about how I got started in all of this stuff, and my sister's boyfriend, and he found out what I was paying for stuff, and he said, "Man, you shouldn't be nickel and diming. Quantity is the way to go. You want to have less traffic and make more money." So I'm like, okay, I'm with that. So he was dropping off a couple of ounces with me, and I went from spending 40 to double up to 1,500, and things got heavy pretty quickly. He was well connected, so uh, he had weapons and people were willing to trade weapons for it. So now I'm really getting active in the neighborhood. I wasn't part of any gangs, but yeah, I was out there being a knucklehead. So eventually we move over to the other side of town to a street called Myrtle, which was by the Waterman Gardens, if you're familiar with San Bernardino, which the Waterman Gardens aren't there anymore, but yeah, over on the other side of the Waterman Gardens. And my family moved into a house that some tweakers had previously lived in, and they moved up the street. So now we're there, and eventually my family moved back to Long Beach, and I wasn't invited, and I understand why now, but it really hurt me at that time. But I was being a knucklehead. I was doing stupid shit that just wasn't normal. So we're sitting on the porch, me and a couple of the homies, and this guy Donnie that used to live in the garage where I live. He kept riding back and forth on his bicycle, and the homies started pumping me up, and they were like, "You gonna let this fool keep coming by like he's probably trying to break into your house or something?" So he comes riding back up the street again, and I jump off the porch with the pistol, and I'm in his face, and I'm talking shit, and I'm waving the gun around, and I basically kick him off the block and tell him he ain't welcome no more. A lot more came out of that. Like, he was talking shit to some people I know about me, and a couple of us ended up going to his house and doing some things we probably shouldn't have. I'm not really going to get into here. But ultimately, I was on the porch again, and back in those days, the smash units, which was it's street measures against street hoodlums. They're like the gang and drug unit, basically. I was sitting on the porch, and I seen three of them coming down the street, and it's a long street. But like the sound of those old Crown Vic engines was very distinct, and I said, "Oh shit, the cops are coming." So I had just re-upped and got a new bag, and I see them coming, and I'm running in the house, and I'm flushing everything down the toilet because the smash cops knew who I was at this point, and I knew who they were. Rico, if you're still out there, shout out to you. You never got me, but man, crazy. So yeah, I'm in there, I'm flushing the shit down the toilet, and people had said you got to make sure you flush it twice, or they might be able to get it back. So I'm flushing, and all of a sudden, it dawns on me: why aren't the cops in the house yet? Son of a bitch! Here we go. They hit two doors over. There was a guy, Mike. Apparently, he had some sort of fugitive warrant from out of state, and they were raiding his house and not mine. So, yeah, funny little story with that. But now I had to call the connection and explain why I didn't have any money or any product. But, that's part of the game. And the best thing to do is not get started on it, not put yourself in positions where something like that can happen and you could begin your life of addiction. I've been clean for 18 years, and I still don't put myself in positions where there's any possibility that I could fall, because that shit is powerful and it gets a hold of you and it ruins people. So if you're struggling with addiction, get help. That's the best thing I could say. Go to an NA meeting or an AA meeting, or get yourself into some treatment if that's what you think. There's plenty of programs that'll help pay for that stuff, and NA and AA meetings are free. So yeah, if you're struggling with it, please get some help. Remember, with freedom, fitness, and family, I've been able to do all things, and you can too. So don't look at the mountain, just start climbing.